Well, hello everyone. It's been such a long time since I've had this camera out with me that I got started on a pretty good size project the other day. Been out here 2 to 3 times. Talked to my good buddy Daryl up at Two Family. Did some more thinking about it and came out and been working out here a good portion of the day today. And then realized that I could probably be taking everybody on a trip with me, or on a project with me, excuse me. What's a project? Well, let me give you a hint. It's big, it's yellow and white. What's yellow? Maybe it's my Cub Cadet again. Poor old boy, he has been through the mill, and this spring I got him out getting ready to do my initial grass cut, and well, let me show you here. As soon as we get back, I'll let you see where we're at. Okay, you're looking at some of what I've already done, but that area and all of this, that's all rusted out. There's also some areas in here you can see, look at that, rusted and beat out. Holes there. There's another hole. This is the ugly patch that I did a couple years ago. There's another hole right there. I got a hole there. We go clear down to this end of the moor deck. That whole area is rusted out. There's holes back here. Everything here with the spindles is pretty good and solid, I believe, from my testing. These are all along the edges and the fringes. But anyway, this one is the worst part. This one's the one I'm concerned about the most. So, as you can see, I've already started. I'm cutting that all out. Completely out. And I'm using some of the high carbon that I have, 1/8 inch high carbon, and I'm going to weld those back in. Me saying I'm going to weld is a joke amongst myself, because I am not a welder. You've all seen it. Yeah, I did a couple of decent welds on my pallet breaker upper, but excuse me, that's where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut the rest of this out, and I'm going to place this inside there, clamp it as best I can, and use the magnetics or whatever, and then spot weld it, and then I'll probably have to flip this and flop it and try to get it all welded in. I'll bring you back when I get some more work done. Okay, we've gone from gaping hole to I am the worst welder in the world, spot welding. Maybe by the time I get done with this, I'll be able to constantly or frequently strike a decent arc. But as it is, they're ugly. They're going to get ground down and finished off. And I got to finish these areas, and then I'm going to flip it all over and do it from the underside too, so that everything is good and strong. So we'll be back when we got more to show. Well, I have the original welding done. I know it looks a little funny. That's because it's all set and straight up, because I wanted to make it a little easier for getting through here. Now I have to move everything around, and we're going to lay it down on its back, and I'm going to re-weld every single one inside here. And this is what you have already watched me do, but what you haven't seen is this piece. It's almost 10 inches or whatever that I replaced. I'm getting a little better with my welds, but I've got a long way to go before I can start charging for it. That'll never happen. Anyway, got the outside of it done all the way around. Now I have to do the underside, same way with all the underside here. I've come to the realization that little places like this right here and there And then these two back here, you can see it there and down here. All of those are going to have to be the same way. I got to cut the metal out to get the good and replace the piece. Again, I am so thankful because the carbon steel that I do have here is exact same thickness. So with my magnets, I'm able to hold it into place until it's spot welded, and then it's just a matter of fighting it instead and changing the heat temperatures and things on the welder to keep, when I start blowing holes, to cool it down a little bit to fill the holes and then keep on going. That's been kind of the whole routine, especially up through this line right here. So okay, we'll be back probably tomorrow to try to finish this up. Well, looking at all this, I came across one more issue. This is the blade spindle. And it's broken loose there, and it's broken loose there. And it's supposed to look like that one. So, we got the torch out. We're going to heat it up, beat that back in position, this here too. Then throw a weld in there, and then grind it out so that the blade fits it again, and we'll go on to the next. I think that looks a lot better. Yeah, it's still boogied up, but it's solid. The blade fits in there perfectly. I've got it all ground down in here so that it's square and it fits in there. And we're going to call that job, or episode, complete also. Okay, on to the holes. Well, it's been another 2 to 3 days since I had turned this camera on, but I believe I have all of the patching completed. The only thing I have left to do now is basically clean it off a little bit and put some primer, and if I can find the orange paint or the yellow paint, I'll spray some of that on it. But to give you a recap, I started out right here, and I had to replace 3 panels of this. So I cut all that out and replaced it, and then I realized that I had another mass of holes there, and then again right there, and was looking around, and oh, there was another one right there, and then there was another patch here. When all that was done, I started looking at it again, and you all remember my last patch. I cut that all out because it was going on bad on either side. Added that in the front, clear down in the front here, and that. So a little job of 3 areas there, and this is something that, like I said, I talked with Daryl up north here at Two Family, and that's all I could show him was that right there. He didn't realize, and I didn't realize all this, and what our first initial plan was to just cover it up with some 15, 16 gauge or whatever, to find out that all of this is the same thickness as the high carbon steel that we have, steel plate that I had. So I just went ahead and cut it all out, made blanks that fit inside, used the magnets to set it in place, spot welded, and then welded on both sides till I ran out of wire, had to run in and get more wire. Now we're going to probably have to go in and get a little bit of paint, but otherwise I think the major part of this is done. Now all I got to do is sharpen the blades, stick the belt back on, and get it painted up and get her underneath the old yeller so we can get our yard mowed. We'll be back in a little bit. So anyway, as you can tell, number one, Mama was just next door with the power washer, so we decided we would do it this way. You can see that I have completed it. I've put the primer paint on it, the belt's back on it, the blades have been sharpened and balanced. I'm getting ready to put those shrouds back on and shove this thing up underneath the old yeller to see what we can do about getting our grass mowed. This is Ted Homer. I'd like to thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed your visit. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Tell your family, tell your friends. Tell your local lawn equipment service person. I'm going to try to get back here way more frequently. We've got a lot planned for this summer, and I think some of you just might like the ride that we're getting ready to take. I hope we're getting ready to take it. We'll catch you all the next time. Y'all have a blessed, blessed, blessed day. Bye-bye.